Oh, hello there. A Magis Day to you. I am Abdul Halil Guico Adang, a junior physics researcher at the National Institute of Physics. Now, I will present to you the experiment I conducted entitled Hooke's Law, which described the elastic properties of materials only in the range in which the force and displacement are proportional. So let's move on to the objectives of this experiment. First is to validate the relation between spring force and displacement as predicted by Hooke's law. Second, determine the force constant of a given spring from the slope of a force displacement graph. Third, determine the force constant of spring in parallel series combination. Fourth and lastly, to calculate the force needed to stretch a spring. The materials I used in this lab at home experiment are laptop, pen, graphing paper, scratch paper, ruler, and the virtual lab. For the experimental setup, I am now showing you the lab at home setup, the lab apparatus part A, the lab apparatus part B under parallel, and the last one is lab apparatus part B under series. To summarize the data result, I am now showing you the table of x and y values and its graph. I came up with the spring constant 400 Newton per meter for part A and 500 Newton per meter for K1 and K2 for both K parallel and K series. For the data analysis, for the parallel, two springs following Hooke's law are linked in parallel when connected by thin rod as well illustrated in the laboratory apparatus. The rod is subjected to a continuous force with remaining perpendicular to the force direction, so that all of the springs are the same length. For the series spring, when identical springs are combined in series, spring 2 is subjected to a steady force. As a result, the springs are lengthened, and the overall length of the combination equals each spring's length. In practical situation, one of the spring forces is also utilized to keep the drum in place in washing machine. The drum rotates at a faster pace when the engine is spinning, and the spring's job is to keep the machine or the drum in place at this point. In conclusion, this experiment helped me to validate the relation between spring force and displacement, determine the force constant spring from the slope of the force displacement graph, and determine the force constant of spring in parallel and series combination, and to calculate the force needed to stretch a spring. As a recommendation for the future researcher, make use of Hooke's law to evaluate the value of spring structure. That would be all. Once again, I am Abdul Halil Guico Adang, and have a great day ahead.